In the television ad attacking Bill Cassidy, Mary Landrieu's campaign used this snippet from Fox 8 News with John Snell.
The congressman claimed to be in two places at once.
Here's the full context of what Snell read during last Friday's 10 p.m. broadcast.
A former supervisor and colleague of Bill Cassidy came to his defense tonight over the controversy that the congressman claimed to be in two places at once.
Just days before the runoff election, Fox 8 objects to what we believe is a misrepresentation in the ad, and we have formally asked the Landreiu campaign to pull the spot.
All right, that is editing at its best or worst, depending on how you're looking at it. And when you're desperate, that's the kind of things you stoop to. Joining us now is National Press Secretary for the RNC, Republican National Committee, and we're joined by Kirsten Kukowski. Hello.
Hello, thanks for having me on.
It's my pleasure. Good to talk to you. So it's push coming to shove. The time has come, and it doesn't look good, never has, and looks probably worse than ever for Mary Landreiu in Louisiana.
It really does. 2 days left. It's been a very long month for Mary Landreiu. She had, the DSCC completely bail on her and take all the money that they were going to spend on her behalf out. She's flailing. She's desperate. She's out there, talking badly about her own Democrats who are signing, fundraising letters for her and just stepping in it everywhere. So, yeah, I mean, you do feel bad for her, but I think things look really, really good for us in Louisiana, come Saturday night.
And in that debate, which was, first of all, that ad, I will talk about in a second, but the debate, one of the most striking things she said was how, she stressed her Catholic faith, and she said that abortion in almost every case is immoral, yet her votes and her record don't reflect that statement.
We've seen that a lot from her, to be honest with you. She's been trying to be two different people, trying to be, trying to actually be very much more conservative because she's from Louisiana and there are a lot of conservative voters there. When in reality, voting with President Obama, I think it's, almost 100% of the time. So, I think that we've seen that a lot. I think that that's why she's in the position that she's in right now. And frankly, she's going to lose by probably double digits.
Yeah, and going back to that ad, I mean, we've seen, and on this show we document so much media bias, and when NBC would edit different things in the George Zimmerman case, et cetera, we put it all out there. But to do what they did, to have a news anchor reading part of the story, a short snippet that implies that the congressman is lying and claiming to be in two places at once, and in fact the story is that people came to his defense. I mean, it's really as low as you could get.
It is. I mean, clearly they knew exactly what they were doing. They're using Fox News when they're trying to, to get voters in a conservative state like Louisiana and trying to take it out of context. We see this a lot, especially from candidates who are about to lose. Our voter scores have told us, a very consistent story since day one in this general election runoff in Louisiana, and that is that Cassidy is going to come out on top. And so I think that that's why you're seeing the Democrats and Mary Landreiu reacting the way that they are. They know their data is showing them the exact same thing our voter scores are telling us, and why it's been such a long month for her.
And Kirsten, the charade really, started in earnest, after when the Congress reconvened, and this whole Keystone, pipeline bill in the Senate, something that they were dead set against, wouldn't bring up, wouldn't touch. All of a sudden, it was the Mary Landreiu bill, and even there, she couldn't get enough Democratic support to get that to the floor.
Well, her whole point, if you remember back to the primary election, which was the normal, midterm election for us, her whole point or her whole argument to Louisiana voters was, I have so much power, in Washington, D.C. And so I think that's why that was so striking to everybody, to come out of the gates like that in the general election runoff, and not be able to do exactly what she was trying to promise Louisiana voters that she could do. I think it was embarrassing. And I think that is, one of the many reasons why she's in the position that she is in, 2 days ahead of the election on Saturday.
And very briefly, picking up that Alaska seat, which many people might have lost track of because it took several days, and now picking up this seat. really puts the Republicans in a strong position in that Senate going forward.
Yeah, I think we feel very good about what is coming next for us in January. I think Mitch McConnell's likely to be, a very good leader and teammate with John Boehner in the House. So I think that we feel very good. There's a lot of energy out here. Our offices are, right across from the House office buildings, and I think that we feel very good as a party about what's in store and holding this president accountable for the first time in a lot of years.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. All right, Kirsten, good to talk to you. We look forward to talking to you again. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Same.
All right, folks. Yeah, it is pathetic, and the support that you would expect that she has gotten from fellow Democrats, especially female Democrats who have contributed through their PACs $15,000 each is amazing. All right, folks, the Malzberg panel is next, but first, bicycle safety. Bicycle safety laws. And there are those laws. Are you familiar with them? Well, Alan Dershowitz, he's familiar with them. You got to wear a helmet, this, that. He's going to fill you in on everything that you should know, and here it is.
If you ride a bicycle, is it okay to run a red light? We've all seen that 1,000 times. Just yesterday, I was nearly run over by a biker who just ran through a light while I was in the crosswalk. More and more people are biking than ever before. Many are commuting to work by bike. In fact, biking is increased by something like 60% in the last 10 years. And cities across the country are offering citizens easy access to rent bikes. But many bike riders don't know that they're required to follow the same traffic laws as car drivers. And that's true in the majority of our states. Police don't often enforce these laws because, of course, bikers don't have biking licenses. Bikers often think they can act more like pedestrians than drivers. Now, some states are beginning to change their laws. Virginia, for example, says that a bicyclist can wait just 2 minutes at a red light, and if it doesn't change, they can go through it if traffic permits. In Idaho, bike laws are even more flexible. If you're riding a bike, you don't have to come to a complete stop at a stop sign. You only need to slow down. How many of us have done that, even when we're driving cars? And cyclists can also go through a red light if they come to a complete stop and check for traffic. But no matter what state you're biking in, always remember, traffic laws help protect you and others from injury. So always use common sense and act accordingly. I'm Alan Dershowitz for Newsmax TV.